Well, hello, everyone. Man, I am so excited today. Today we have an all-star cast. And wait. And it keeps getting better, ladies and gentlemen. Today I got my panelists here. I'm so excited because we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty about some stuff. But before I begin, ladies and gentlemen, I want to make sure I say hi to each and every one of you watching. Welcome to another episode of the Unapologetic Entrepreneur, where we inspire, educate, and empower you to take control of your financial future. I am your host, Mr. Leonardo Garcia, and I am accompanied by greatness. We got the one and only Miss Takira Sullivan. We have Mr. Ezra Javay. Did I say that right? Give it to me. Oh, yes. And we got
kind of.
Taurus Williams. We got all different places here. There, we got representing New Jersey, representing Florida, and representing Atlanta. Come on, Georgia over here. So what we're gonna do is forget what you heard, guys. You probably heard all kinds of things about insurance. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and yes, sometimes the ugly. And as you guys know, you as viewers are able to chime in and ask your questions. But if you don't, I'm always ready. So I hope you guys are ready for a good one. I'm glad that I am not here alone today to cover this topic. And I want to thank you guys as my guests for coming on this platform today. So if you don't mind just introducing yourself a little bit, Mr. Kira, then I would say Ezra and then Taurus. That's just the order you're in my screen. Just introduce yourself so the people know who they're talking to.
I am Takira Sullivan, straight out of Jersey, North New Jersey. They call me TT for my nickname. I've been a licensed broker for 15 years now, and I'm just out here educating families on, being able to protect their families properly and educate them on that.
Okay. All right. And Ezra.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ezra Gervais. Born and raised in Miami, Florida. Been in the financial services industry since 2018. Glad to be here and glad to have this conversation.
Mr. Williams. You're muted. Check the little thing. You're muted. There you go. There you go.
All right. Hey, how's everybody doing? Leo, thank you for having me on. My name is Taurus Williams. I'm an executive director with Team CEO Life under our parent company, Experior Financial Group. And super excited, man, about this conversation. As far as my story, my mom passed away when I was around 20 years old. I was in college and, she didn't have life insurance. So it's a real passion for me. I know that there are a lot of people that need help with this. And I'm glad that I have a platform to be able to do
Oh,
that. And also, I get to know with y'all. So I'm
beautiful,
blessed.
beautiful. All right. Well, so let's start the game here. All right. So I'm gonna ask the first question, and you guys could take your turns. I'll say ladies first, and you can all give your take on it, and it's gonna be on the screen. So my first one: what's one of the most powerful benefits of life insurance that most people don't even realize?
Is it me? Am I up? Are
Yes, you're
we
the only lady on the
battling to go?
panel. You're the only lady on the panel. Ladies first. Ladies first.
Okay. I think that the most powerful benefit of life insurance that most people don't realize is the fact that you can use life insurance, you can leverage life insurance to create generational wealth. A lot of people just believe that it's only for when they die, and that's why some people may say, "Well, I don't want to leave anything to anyone," not realizing that they are really taking themselves out the game as to being able to leverage that and have money while they retire and have tax-free money while they retire. So I think that's one of the most powerful benefits that they.
All right, Mr. Ezra.
Yeah, I'm one of the most powerful things I like to say is you can you can secure $1 million for your family and not have to pay $1 million. You could be able to generate wealth for your family and not have to be wealthy, but you could leave wealth for them through life insurance. I spoke to a financial advisor earlier, and she said that was one of the biggest things that she realized, especially when we're talking about, the black and brown community. Not everybody's may be in a position to buy a house or whatever case may be, but people could
Mhm.
secure life insurance for their families that would give them a lump sum of money tax free, to leave behind. So that's a great start for individuals, especially as we talk about, you know, the wealth of our community is going to down to zero within the next couple of years. So that's one of the most powerful things you could do for your family is you could be able to leave them six figures, millions of dollars, and not have to
Mhm.
pay dollar for dollar for it. You could be able to flip that. Our community, like, you don't want to flip that money. This is a way you can flip that money legally.
All right, Mr. Williams.
I believe one of the most powerful things is the flexibility. So when I say flexibility, it can protect your income in addition to providing, the transfer of wealth in the event that you pass away. And that income component, I think, is very important, and people miss that a lot of the time if they don't, work with a professional that has that knowledge. And I think that is like one of the most powerful things, being able to replace your income if you became ill, not just dying, but it protects you in the event of a critical or chronic illness or terminal illness.
Man, all right. So, oh, guys, great answers. I love it. I love it. We're just getting warmed up. Uh-oh. And you know what's crazy? You guys give all a different perspective. So those that are watching are really getting jewels today where they can actually write down different things and just reach out to someone that's going to be able to give them definitions because you guys are talking in general. You're not saying this
Mhm.
kind of plan, this kind of plan. You're talking about different perspectives of just life insurance. There's so many misconceptions out there, and we're
Yes.
doing this for the exact reason that it is September, and we are in Life Insurance Awareness Month. So I'm glad that you guys came up here to give some people some real awareness because a lot of people don't have it. And even when they have it, they don't have enough. And they rely on their business, their job, the government to bury or to take care of their family. Hey, I don't think you're responsible for that. And you're telling people today what are some good benefits. So I really appreciate you for your time. Let's go for second question. Remember, those of you that are watching, let me see. Let's give a quick shout out. I did have what's going on, coach? What's going on? And Marvin, hey, what's going on, brother? Thanks for watching. We got other. Remember, you got to say hello so I can recognize you. If you don't say hello, I can't see you. Here's the second question for you guys. Ready? How have you seen life insurance create generational wealth in families you've worked with? These are personal right now. Who have you worked with that you know that you already set them up, or you've seen the effects? Someone passed, and you see the generational wealth is starting to be to start being built in that family. Takira.
Well, I can just speak for me myself in real time. I have something set in place for my son. The same things that Leo. You can hear me. You guys can hear me.
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Um, yeah, just for myself, just like I have something set up for my son, that I know when I am no longer here, or if I'm still, God willing, here when he gets older, before he even becomes 30 years old, he is going to be a multimillionaire. And that is setting him up for the future. So when I'm not here, he will have that from, and I'm going to teach him. Not only will he have all of that money, and he's just like, okay, my mom left me, and if I am educating him and the rest of my family to continue that generational wealth, so when I'm not here, he knows what to do with it. It's not always just building it. You have to educate your kids and or who you're leaving that money for, because they will no longer know what to do with it, and then it won't be passed on from generation to generation.
All right, Mr. Ezra.
Yeah, I would say that I had a family, uh, a wife, a mother. She passed away, and she was able to leave behind with her death benefit to her husband to be able to keep the house that they had. It was a two income household. So the money was able to not only pay for the funeral service, but it was also enough to pay, to pay down the house tremendously. So, they had three kids, three young children or whatnot. So, being able to have that money to be able to keep the house and keep, the kids at a place where they can continue to live, that's the start for their generational wealth. That now they be able to not imagine them losing that house if they didn't have that set in place. So that was definitely something that I was able to see a family do.
All right, Mr. Torres.
I've had a scenario where I was in a conversation with a guy during a round of golf, and he's a guy that I saw at the clubhouse often. He lived on the course, and would show up there, and just you see him every time you went to the course, and that's a different kind of lifestyle. And I learned through conversation that his dad passed away, left a significant amount of money to him, and that allowed for him to have a huge house on one of the most beautiful holes at the golf course, and he lives off the interest from that
Oh,
money.
wow.
The money has not been touched. He lives off the interest from the life insurance benefit that was paid.
Wow.
It pays all the bills. The house is paid in full, and he just tries to find people to have conversations with and have a drink with and have
Mm.
lunch with throughout the week. That's his job
Hmm.
to work on his golf game. So yeah, life insurance is powerful. It is
Especially when leveraged
powerful.
correctly. We keep throwing that word around. I love it. Man, three different. This is dynamic, man. We're gonna skip some questions because I really want to get into this right here too. Why should young adults, right? Why should young adults, not just older people, because people think that life insurance is all about age. See, when I got into the industry, what I realized is that most people say I'm too young for life insurance, and I was like, what is going on? Why are they thinking this way? It's like they want to wait until they're in their deathbed to get life insurance when that's the whole misconception of, oh, life insurance is only for when you're about to die. So there's a great question. Why should young adults, not just older people, be thinking about a life insurance policy today? Takira, let's go.
I think that they should be thinking about it today because, right, let's just be real. Life insurance, it has two things. It's going to look at your age and it's going to look at your health. And so most people if you're younger, you're healthier. That means that if I have somebody that's in their 20s, I'm going to tell them to get the highest, the most life insurance they could get on them because it's cheaper. You're going to have permanent. You don't have to worry about your premiums going up and you good. Also, I think a lot of people say, well, I'm young. I don't need life insurance. Right now, today, the way society is going, I'm going to just be 100. It seems like it's more the younger people dying than the older people. And if you want to take a look at it and flip it, think about it like this. you're saving, you're building yourself up, you're setting yourself up. So say now if you're in your 20s and you've been saving and you have leveraged your life insurance properly, and it is set up correctly, now you're in your 40s and you want to buy a home. You don't have to go to the bank to purchase to get a loan. You can create your own bank through your life insurance and borrow against from yourself as opposed to someone else and dealing with interest and everything else. So I think that they don't realize how much life insurance can do because they're not educated on it. And I think that life insurance is one of the best tools to use to set yourself up, not just for, retirement, but as you're living your life and getting older, because you are making sure that your money is growing properly within that.
All right. Anything to add to that, Mr. Ezra? I saw you. I see both of you like, I guess I know.
I mean,
Don't say it.
she kind of answered it all. I would also add, let's go even younger. Let's talk about the kids. We have what's called a $1 million baby program. Where you can set up it's a certain type of strategy with a
Mm-hmm.
particular product, a life insurance product that would allow you to be able to set yourself up or set up your kids to be future millionaires.
That's right.
This is something that a lot of people don't realize when we talk about the rule of 72, compound interest, because they're so young, they have the time for that money to compound and grow. So by the time they become adults, they're sitting on a half a million, $1 million easy when we plan ahead, So it's very, very advantageous for young people to utilize this product.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
From my perspective, and you guys both made like amazing points. Um, when I'm speaking to young adults, I'm normally talking to them about the fact that they're in the building stages of their life, and the importance of life insurance with living benefits for young people is the fact that there is a possibility that they can get in a bad car accident and be out of work. More younger people that are younger and younger are getting diagnosed with like
Mm-hmm.
medical conditions, critical medical conditions. And I've seen stroke. I've seen 28-year-old have a heart attack and pass away. It's wild, and I know it has a lot to do with the food, and that's something that is very difficult to get around, especially if you're not making all the money, or you're feeding like 9, 10, 5, 6 kids in a family. Things are so expensive now that the eating habits may not be as great. So if you get sick as a young person and you are in the building stages of your life, you need a policy that can
Mm-hmm.
provide you with a lump sum of cash if you're diagnosed with a critical illness or a chronic illness, where you still have income coming in from the policy. The money's tax
Mm-hmm.
free. And a lot of the times that could actually be more money than what you're bringing in through your job. So when I'm talking to young people, I definitely emphasize that they need to protect their income and forget about the death benefit. Forget about the death benefit. It's all about protecting that income.
Mm. Mm-mm. So many angles to hit on this. I mean, we have so many stories here within our lives. I mean, what can happen without having any type of protection? And you guys are hitting at all different angles. You're hitting it from family, from building, and now also for protecting that income. I think that's forgotten about a lot. People just think about, well, the house stays paid off, but what happens when the house is paid off? How do you still need that second income that was coming in because life,
Mm-hmm.
otherwise you're still altering the life. So I love the way you guys are really answering these questions. By the way, all you guests, I'm watching to see if you have a question. Don't hesitate to ask anything. We got a lot of experience right here. We have a lot of stories, and we have all different dynamics, male and female. So let's hit it hard, and don't be scared. I'm not. I got another one for you right now. This one, you're probably going to have all different answers because all of you, I mean, we all gotten the same myths from people we sit with, but I'm dying to see your perspective. I'm going to change the order too. I'm going to go Taurus first. What are the most common myths people believe about life insurance that stop them from getting it?
That is too expensive. That is one of the major myths about protection. is going to cost too much or they can't afford it. And you got single moms out here. I think that's one of the biggest demographics right now. They're up at night concerned. What if something happens to me? What's going to happen to my babies? What if I can't work? And they're unaware. So we want to create awareness tonight. That's what we're doing with this. If you are in that scenario, I want you to know that you can get life insurance that can cost you less than a cup of coffee daily. You know what I mean? Less than a cup of coffee. And there are people that absolutely have to have their coffee every morning, right? So for those of you that drink the coffee, but you don't have protection, I want you to drop the coffee just for a little bit, just a little discipline. And, get with your financial professional and let them know what your budget is. And they will find something for you so that you can rest well. So affordability is the biggest myth, that the product's not affordable, and I want y'all to know it is. All right,
Ezra, let's go. What you got? You're chomping at the bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna go into my community, man. My parents are from Haiti. In the Haitian culture, they think that if you get a life insurance policy, they're gonna die. Like they just think they just gonna, I don't know what it is. They think that when they get a policy, the next day they're gonna go see their Lord and Savior, and we got to get rid of that superstitious myth. This is to prepare your family for the future if something happens to you. And that's why they don't even want to have a conversation. They don't want to get it because if they have that conversation, they think that they're gonna introduce some type of spirit that's gonna get them at night, man. So we gotta stop that.
Shakira, what do you got? That's so true, though.
It is. Especially the Caribbean community, they really believe that. They like somebody trying to kill me off.
Yeah. You trying to kill me?
But I'm gonna just go back to let me take it to the streets right with you. As I know because I have been told this, that they feel it's a scam. They feel like the companies is not going to pay them. Or they're going to give them a policy, and then when the person passes away, they're not going to be able to collect on the money. Just as simple as that. And, I guess I could just put this out there. I mean, it's not the company. I'm going to just be real with you guys. It is not the company. I always say you have to make sure that you're dealing with the right people. You have to make sure who you're dealing with as far as your broker, your agent, that you know this person, you get a rapport with this person, and you can tell. We all have discernment. You know when someone's there to truly educate you and help you. Yes, I know because I've dealt with something like that in my family. My aunt had a policy that she was paying on for 24 years. When her son last year passed away, she didn't get zero from that policy because she believed whoever sat with her and never really read her policy over, and come to find out it was an accidental policy. So the average person don't really know what these policies are. It is our due diligence as an agent to make sure you explain whatever product you're selling to that person, because they don't speak our lingo. So in my community, they like, I ain't getting that. I'm not paying for that. Such and such had a policy and they ain't get paid. And so,
That's a great point, because that would have been what I would have said, is that it's not going to pay, or that they got that they got enough. I think they really that's a big misconception that keeps people. And here's what I would say. Here's what keeps people from getting life insurance. Ready? The government's going to take care of it.
How's that working out?
I'm an American. They got me. My job is going to handle it. Wait. And the best one of all, my kids could do it.
Let's call your kids. Let's see what they think about that.
Whoa, man. I could tell you that children or young adults maybe they have money, but they got a family of their own. They got to be ready for their own tragedies. and I think that people in our time think that that's it's okay. I think it's crazy for me to think that my 20-year-old son is going to figure out how to bury me, that he's going to take care of me when I get older. It's something in our culture where the kids eventually, yes, we take care of our parents, but now we got to take care of them financially. And when they pass away, it's hard. It's only getting harder. Mr. Tiroli has a question.
It's a good
Okay.
one. It's a
Do
good
you
one.
think the community lacks accurate information about money and insurance, or is it that as licensed professionals, we're not explaining it in a way they can easily understand? That
Mm,
is good
that is a good.
question. Who wants to tackle
Mm.
this one first, gentlemen and ladies?
I'll go.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You want to go, Ezra?
Go ahead, Ezra. Go ahead, Ezra. You
All
were
right. Well,
chomping at the bit. I gotta give it to
I
you.
think that is. I think that is both. I think
Mm-hmm.
that there's situations where our community lacks information, right? Maybe it's available, but they're not taking the time to really understand or really taking that information. And then I also think that there are people in our industry that don't care enough to explain the details of what someone is getting themselves into, and then they're caught off guard or they're surprised when something happens. I've seen a lot of people get policies, and thinking that it's going to cover them for their whole life, and it's only covering them for 20 years, 30 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And oh man, whoa, or they got to pay more after a certain period of time, and that wasn't explained to them. So it's both, but at the same time, it's our jobs as professionals. We're responsible to educate our people, educate the community on what's really going on.
Okay. Mr. Williams, would you like to take a crack at that one?
No, TT was chomping at the bit. So yeah, go ahead, TT. Let them
Uh-oh.
know. Let them
No,
know.
I agree with Esther 100%. I think it's both. But the reason the community isn't aware or don't know more information about the products that we offer because they were never educated on it. They don't know what really do for them. When you think about it and somebody is planning for retirement, they're not saying, "Oh, let's go get a life insurance policy." All they are aware of is what IRAs, and really more people is just really know about 401ks. They don't know that using that life insurance product in the way we strategize and do it, that can be a part of diversifying your portfolio. However, on the flip side of that, I agree with Ezra with professionals. We are professionals. And I think that a lot of us do not really take the time out to be able to explain something to that client and really let them know how this works. And actually stay in touch with your clients so that every 6 months or every year you go and you review that policy, you go and review their life and see how their life has changed so that now you can offer them something more if at that time they couldn't do it. So I think it's a two-way street. It's the agent, it's us as professionals, and it's the lack of education in the community.
Mr. Williams, I'll go after you because
Man,
I
great
got something for
perspective.
this one.
Great perspectives. Great perspectives. My perspective is as far as the community right now. I can tell you just by being in the industry that there are more people to serve than agents that are out there. So that's number one. So this industry, for those of you that are out there and you're paying attention right now and you're watching this, um, if you're looking at like an opportunity to grow your income, add a second income, learn something new, this business can help you do that. Right now, the community needs that kind of insight. When I talk about financial literacy, and we don't have enough people like these great people that I'm on this call with to help people with this stuff. So I want y'all to know that first. So for those of you that are looking for a second income, definitely reach out to Leo, touch base with him, let him know that you're looking to help and serve the community. So number one, like I said, there's just not enough people with good insight that can educate, people on this stuff, right? They go to TikTok, they go to social media, but they'll hear two different things, they get confused, and they're out. They're not doing anything. And then on the second hand, we talk about the licensed professionals. Um, there are licensed professionals that are out there that don't do the right thing, but for the most part, a lot of them, they've been trained a certain way, and they only know what they know, and that's all. You can't pour from an empty cup, right? So I think that when people get in this business, they're looking out for others' well-being, and they want others to be protected and win. um, I think sometimes they just don't understand, don't have the knowledge to give people. So um, I think the business model could have an impact on them too.
Uh, I agree with all your
Tor-
points. I agree with all your points, but there's one thing that I do heavily also want to put on the consumer. And I'll say this. If a consumer goes or a person goes to a doctor, right, for a checkup, and the doctor says, you have cancer. You know what's the first thing that person does? They go get a second
get a
opinion.
second.
But they don't do that with life insurance. So I think some of the responsibility has to be on the consumer, because education is going to come from, like you said, you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't. And also, as an agent, I think that you have responsibility to really sharpen your sword and become better on what you're doing by asking the right questions to be educated, to now be able to educate and use the talents that we have to simplify things to a fifth grade level so they understand it. We don't have to use convoluted, complex language to explain what it is. They could read a policy and that's what it sounds like. But at the end of the day, if you're unsure, there's this thing, this weird stigma out there that they're loyal to this or loyal to that. This person would never do me wrong. They probably wouldn't. But here's the thing, they probably don't know any better. So why not get a second opinion? These are the kind of things that end up people having policies that are accidental policies, and they think they're covered when they die. They're not. They can't come back and argue about something they thought they had. They're dead. So at the end of the day, a second opinion, even if it's right, I've gone into houses, I've talked to people on Zoom, and I've talked to people on the phone that what they tend to send me, and I read, I go, this is good, and I walk away. I say, if you want more, you can do something about that. Your circumstances have changed. Some agents, look, there's good and bad in every industry, but there's nothing wrong with getting a second
That
opinion as a consumer to make sure you're in the right position. I do have to give some responsibility to the person that's doing it, because if you buy a car, if you buy shoes, if you buy clothes, it doesn't fit right, feel right, drive right, the first thing you're doing is, I need to go check if this is good. But you won't do that with something that's protecting your life? Why? You have,
I
as a consumer, the best power. You have a word that's so powerful in this world. You have the power to say no. I'll leave it there because we got a whole sermon on that one. Oh, we got Cherry
bet.
with a question. Some people call life insurance the ugly side of finance. Too expensive, confusing, or even a scam. What do you say to those people? Ooh, it's time to get powerful. What would you say to people to say that what you do, Ezra, what you do, Takira, what you do, Williams, is a scam?
Well, I want to know what's going to happen to that person's family member when that time comes, you know, when they pass away. What do they have in place? You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's a tool that's going to be utilized for the betterment of the family. So once again, if someone is just looking at the bad stories, and yeah, there's some bad stories that are out there, but this is why we doing this live right now. This is why we're doing this episode right now, to educate people. So when people see, oh, they're talking about insurance, I'm a go and I'm gonna look at what's trending right now, what's going viral right now. I'd rather look at these other podcasts that are doing nothing but foolishness or whatnot. I'd rather pay attention to that. They know all the details of the drama and all that that's going on.
Mhm.
But won't take the time to listen, to get educated And when that time comes, it's too late. So when people say that it's too expensive because maybe you waited too long and now that it's finally hit you, now you're trying to get it, but you're you're not 23 anymore. You're not, so yes, so when you might say it's expensive, but you have to understand that if you're in your 60s, 70s, 80s, it's gonna be up there in price because you have to catch up with a premium that you never paid. You're not gonna get the 23-year-old price at 82.
Good point.
For me, I would ask them, do you mind sharing with me why you say it's a scam? I would want to know why they feel it's a scam. And regardless of whatever they say, I'll say, I can appreciate that. And then I would share a story with them. I would share a story. I mean, we all know stories. I have my own stories. Some of us don't have our own story, but we can use other stories that we're familiar with. And you share that story because, stories have more impact than just sharing facts. So that's what I would say to that, Ms. Cherry, is I would share a story with that person, but I would first find out why do they think it's a scam or it's too expensive or whatever their thought process is.
Okay, Takira, you're a scam. What you do is a scam, Takira.
Okay, what I do is a scam. Like basically what both of the gentlemen said, it's the same thing. I would ask them, why do you feel that way? I would show them that they said something about being too expensive. No, it is for your budget. I want you to keep this policy. I don't want you to lapse it in 2 or 3 months because you feel like buying a pair of shoes for yourself is more important than paying on your policy. I'm going to work within your budget. First, I'm going to show them that I really care. And then I'm gonna show them what it can actually do when they die. I don't say pass away, I say die, because that's what's going to happen. And I say, you have children, right? You told me you have 3 children. So if you pass away right now, they're young, you're going to die. What are they going to do? What are you going to leave them? How are they going to take care of themselves? I start bringing them to an emotional point where now they're really starting to think about it. So they don't look at it as a scam anymore. They look at it as a savior for their children.
Nice. Okay. Anybody that says,
Yeah. If you change the
yeah,
way they
it's
look
all
at it,
perception. I
that'll
like
do it.
that. When it comes to me, if they say I'm a scam, I say, have they seen GoFundMe lately? You want, you want to scam? You want
That'll
to
bring it home.
scam? Go for it. Um, at the end of the day, I lived through it. I have stories. I paid for my brother's funeral. I know what it is. I know what it is to not have
Yeah.
insurance because you think that, one, you're not going to die. And if you die, it doesn't cost anything. It's life altering. It doesn't matter if you have $40,000 in the bank. It wasn't created to go into the ground. It wasn't created for your death. So at the end of the day, I'm just very real about it. And at the end of the day, to be honest with you, you can't save everyone. Jesus couldn't do it. I can't either. At the end of the day, I'm going to give them the best education I can and let them know that hopefully, they'll get some kind of sense or have enough money to put in the ground. Because it's one of the things Ezra said before. You can set your family up to have $1 million and never pay $1 million.
And you know what, Leo? Another thing you can ask them is if they say it's too expensive, you can say compared to what?
Okay, what are we comparing it to? Nice. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Compared to what? Because when I look at it, I'll get a sheet of paper and just flip it over, and you just write, okay, we're talking $30 a month, $50 a month, $100 a month, versus $12,000 to $15,000
in a day. You can't pay that in layaway.
Which one do you think is easier to come up with? Because you know how it is. You go in a funeral home, they're not going to give you a bottle of water until they know you got a policy.
Facts.
Yes, sir. We got a good one here for people that are trying to get into this business, guys. All right, get ready to take the gloves off. How does a broker differ from a captive agent? What should consumers know to understand these differences? And which questions should they ask agents before deciding to work with them? Woo, this is loaded, man. This might take the whole segment. Okay. All right. Who wants that one?
I mean, I could start us off. How does a broker differ from a captive agent? Well, a broker is going to have more options for you. A captive agent is going to be limited to whatever that financial institution they're partnered with can offer. A broker can say, "Oh, you need this? I got you. Oh, you need this? I got you." It's like Amazon. When you go to Amazon, you pretty much can get whatever it is you need. That's a broker. A captive agent is like going to, you know, when you compare it to Amazon, let's say Kohl's. You go to Kohl's, you're gonna be limited, to what you can get. So, I prefer to shop on Amazon. So, I think if they had the option, they choose that as well. Now, that's the first part of that question. It says, what should consumers know to understand these differences? Well, what consumers should know is they deserve to have options, because with options and understanding, they can make a sound, educated decision. And which questions should they ask agents before deciding to work with them? Well, what they should ask is, um, I would think a good question would be, the products that you offer, how do they differ from all the other things that are out there that are available, so that they can understand the benefits of what they're being presented. Because that question will have that agent share with you why what you're getting is going to be the best way. And with that information, they're left to make a business
Oh,
decision.
man,
So
you
that's what I got.
layered it out. It's all good right there. I don't know. You got something else to add on that, Ezra? Because I don't know. I don't got
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah, yeah. No, you laid it out perfectly.
He laid it out.
Yeah, I would say with the difference between a broker and a captive agent, honestly, the broker represents the client. The agent represents that particular carrier, because if that carrier only sells one particular product, let's say they only sell term, or they only sell whole life, or they only sell final expense, and you sit down with that agent, what are they going to try to sell you? The only thing that they can sell you. The broker has the option of selling anything that you need. So now they're just focused on, okay, let me understand your situation, so that way I can understand and understand your goals, so that way I can understand what is the best possible products to present to you. If you're a captive agent, you only can show what the agency provides you. That's it. you know and going back to, I didn't see the other parts of the question, but basically, I would say that portion, it's important for the agent to, okay, do the consumers know to understand these differences. Yeah, because if you tell the client, another thing that I would say, this a captive agent, they can't show you anything else. So how can you know what all of your options are to be able to make an educated decision? You see, when you're with a broker, they can show you term, they can show you IUL, they can show you a whole life, whatever you want to see. They can show you the best possible product if you decide to choose one of those on one of those lanes, so you can know for yourself. A captive agent, I mean, they're like, well, we only do term. Whole life is bad, IUL is bad, but they can't show you an actual quote for you to compare the difference. So to me, that's showing you all of your possible options. And questions to ask is, yeah, is find out, hey, what products do you sell? What are the products that you can sell? What can't you sell? And so you can know what your options are. Because if you're just focused on one particular product, then okay, cool, that works for you. But if you just want to know all of your options before you make that decision, you want to go with someone that can show it to you, that can literally put a quote or illustration specifically for you, so you can see the options that you have.
You guys laid it out. I'm quiet on that one. Shakira, they laid it out.
Yeah, they laid
We,
everything. They
Great.
said
we
it
do we
all.
do have a question here. It's kind of interesting.
You
Yeah,
gotta
we
know.
got. I haven't even gotten to the. I'm done with the ones I'm asking. They're all on the chat now. When advising
Right.
clients, how do you help them decide between term, whole life, and IUL? I'm gonna start this one off real easy. You need to do an
Go ahead.
evaluation of their situation, and at the end of the day,
Hmm.
there's one thing that is very important. There's wants and there's needs. I'm going to tell you what you need, and I'm going to hope that I can make the need part of your want. Because sometimes you can't get what you want, but you do have to get what you need. So it's all about that evaluation
Hmm.
and their goal. Once I have the evaluation and their goal, is all about knowledge of what I'm knowing. And you know what's the best part about what I do? That I'm not alone. Because in the business I'm in, I have a whole team that if I don't know the answer, it's a phone call away. So I will always know that I will always serve that client 100% of the time. I'm done with that one. You guys can take it from there.
Leo, I agree with you on that. When you sit with your client, basically you have to do that evaluation. You have to see what are their goals, what are they trying to accomplish, right? And for me, it's not always, oh, one or the other. I call it my combination platter because I can have a couple who owns a home. I can have, and they can have they need a term, they need to protect their income or their mortgage. They need an IUL. At the same time, it's not always you have to pick one thing for your client because that may not fulfill their needs. So that's how I look at it.
What about you two gentlemen? Let's go. I just had to answer on that one because this is something I do a lot of. Sorry.
Yeah, I would say, the evaluation. You want to sit down and understand, okay, we call it an expert financial analysis. You want to understand where the client is. Are they married? Because that's a big thing. Or do they have children? That's a big thing. Is it one income? Is it two income? Is it, are you in your 20s? Are you in your 50s? How much income is coming in? Do you have savings? Or do you have a retirement plan already set up? All of these different things. What's your health status like? All these different things
Mhm.
play a factor into what you can qualify for, because at the end of the day, you have to qualify for these products, and then what you can
Exactly.
afford and what makes sense to help you complete your financial portfolio, because that's very important, so maybe depending on your situation, the term might be the best situation for you, right? Maybe in your situation it might be the IUL. Maybe it might be it all depends on all of these different factors. When you sit down with someone, I can't look at you and, oh, you're perfect for a term. I just know it. I just know it. you know yeah. you know you look like a term guy. I can tell. You don't know. You got to sit down and evaluate, just like a doctor has to do blood work and height and weight and all these, different things to understand what to properly prescribe you. That's how we have to handle it.
Good answer. Good answer. T Dub, you got one? Because I got
Great,
a good question coming
great
up.
perspective. Absolutely. Yeah, when it comes to advising clients, um, we do an EFA for our clients, an expert financial analysis, and that helps us understand what the client's needs are. And when it comes to term, IUL, whole life, to keep it simple, you got temporary, permanent coverage. You need coverage for if you die. You need coverage for when you die.
Beautiful, beautiful. We got a good one here.
So
Oh,
so it's
go ahead.
not limited. So we're not limited. We have to, you know, look at that EFA, and I think every client should do that. Get a game plan, and then let your financial professional help you execute. That's what we do for our
Mm,
clients.
mm.
But when you die and if you die, you need to look at both. You need to be paying it. Both are important. We'll say.
You had a little delay there, a little delay, but I got it. I got you there. This is a good one.
Oh, it
No, no,
is
you're
my bad.
good. You're good. This is a good one right here. Can you explain how
Okay.
the agent knows who to serve and who to walk away from. Ooh,
Mm.
you're with a client. Do you
Well,
help them or do you walk away? When do you know? How do you know? Ooh.
well, you know what's good about being a broker is the fact that you can help everybody because everyone needs an EFA. Everyone needs a game plan. Now, they may not be in a situation like, there's some situations where there's really not much you can really do for them. you know, like some extreme situation. I mean, it's more extreme type situations. But everyone deserves a plan. Everyone needs a game plan of what happens to them when they die. How can they be able to maximize, their income and finances with the products and services that we have. So I would say an EFA, you can do that with anybody. It doesn't really matter. Now the EFA may say, well, the income is not sufficient enough for really anything right now. So we have to work on increasing your income. And, there's individuals like ourselves that have that opportunity to help you increase your income. You know what I'm saying? So that is something that we can do because if, obviously these are financial products, so we need finances, a certain limit, a certain minimum of finances to help you, so I wouldn't really walk away from that individual unless they just don't want any assistance. But we have to keep it real with them, and make sure that we're not doing, we're not cutting corners. We're just letting them know the truth of the matter.
Mm.
I agree
Mm-mm-mm.
with I agree with Ezra. I feel like everyone can be helped in one way or the other. And if we when we do that EFA, if we do find that their finances isn't where it need to be to get anything, we have that other opportunity. That's why we're here. I don't always walk into something for a sale because then I'm going to go for the recruit and fall back on the sell later. I'm going to show you how to generate more income into your household because I'm going to offer you the opportunity that I have, that I am doing right now, so that now I'm setting you up so now you can properly protect your family. So it's always a way of helping. So I couldn't help them with the policy just yet, but I can help them with an opportunity to better their situation.
Okay. Taurus, you got something for this one?
I mean, great perspectives. My perspective on this is everybody's not your client.
Mhm.
Everyone's not your client. I think if you are going into a meeting, I think having the right understanding of what the meeting is about is going to set the stage. What we do in our company, in our business, and our approach is we just educate. We're going to provide you with financial literacy. Everything else will take care of itself. Nothing's forced.
Amen.
So in my business now, I approach by educating. I provide financial literacy. I'm not leading with a product. I don't have anything in mind. I educate, and then I let that EFA tell me, which way we go. And I think if agents take that approach, every situation they go into, they'll be excited because you're educating people on things that they have no idea about. But if they get this, the ones that are clients, if they get it, you could impact their financial future.
Yes.
So let's just educate. Lead with
Beautiful. I walk
education.
away from those that don't want me to be there. There's not much you can do with closed ears. If a person doesn't want to listen, there's not much you can do about it. To be honest, everybody deserves the opportunity. I will give everybody the opportunity. I will educate those that want to be. I educate the masses. I'll go to churches. I'll go in a stage. I will educate singing and dancing. But if you don't want me, there's nothing I can do. So that's real easy.
Sayonara.
Facts.
We speak Japanese.
Uh-oh. They're starting to warm up here. Guys,
Sayonara.
we got two more questions. Two more questions because of time. We are going to have to do this again. I'm warning you guys right now, so get ready for this. We're going to have to do this again because they're getting warmed up here. Based on what you all know about this industry, do you think it's more focused on sales and education? I mean, sales or education? And can someone succeed in it? Ooh, pretty
And can
good.
anyone?
Can anyone succeed in it? Great
Great
question.
question.
Hmm.
Okay, by what I know about the
Well,
industry,
okay.
it's focused on education. I'm going to keep it simple so they can elaborate and stretch it. It's focused on education. That's why it's called literacy. It's not financial sales. So it's a focus on education, and in our industry, in our team, in our family, I've seen people from all walks of life. I've seen janitors become multi millionaires. I've seen people that are very successful come into this and feel the freedom of what we do and putting themselves and their clients in better positions. So I firmly believe that anyone that wants to do this
Mhm.
can do it and succeed in it very well. I leave it to you guys there.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think that well, I know it's focused on education. We want to make sure people are aware of what their options are, and also aware that their options can close if you wait. Because I have people. Hey, listen, you catch a stroke, a car accident or something happens, and that might delay or that might minimize what you could qualify previously. um, but in this industry, anyone can succeed. It's all about educating yourself and making sure that you're presenting yourself well as a professional, and being able to, be a people person, letting people know, speaking their language, educating them. And with that education, you empower them to be able to act on that education. So anyone can succeed, as long as you're 18 or older. You're able to get licensed, and you're able to work with your community and the people that are around you to make sure that they're properly, getting the services and utilizing these products to maximize their, financial future.
Go ahead, guys. You,
I can't. We can't hear T.
well, Torres, you're muted again, brother.
Sorry about that. I was just trying to like
Yeah.
so the background noise doesn't interrupt somebody. Um, so it says based on what you all know about this industry, do you think it's more focused on sales or education, and can anyone succeed in it? I do believe that it's focused on sales, the majority, but the way we do business, it's focused on more education. And do I believe anyone can succeed in it? Absolutely. I believe that anyone can learn anything. I believe that I can be in a role and I can teach my son how to do what I do. I can teach my wife how to do what I do, my cousin, my neighbor, how to do what I do, if they're willing to learn and they're receptive. So I do believe that anyone, because no one goes to school and then grows up and says, "Hey, I want to be a financial educator." They want to be a stockbroker. They want to be a real estate agent. They want to be a insurance professional adjuster. But no one wants to be a financial educator. So that's what anyone can do because the concepts are very simple and basic. Very simple and basic. The concepts, and that's what we're teaching.
Secure, before I show this
Uh,
comment. Ooh,
Okay, based on what we all know about this industry, do we think it's more focused on sales? I believe it depends on who you're asking because let's just be honest. I feel like some people focus it more on sales, how we what we do in our agency, and because the mentorship that we have and what we know, we focus more on educating families, but that's not always the truth. Some agents do come in, some brokers, that's all they focusing on is the sales. They don't care about explaining nothing. They don't care about telling any about the product. They got commission breath. They just want to make a dollar. So it just all depends on who you're asking. And do I think that anyone can be successful in this industry? Absolutely. The only thing I feel like you have to do, among other things, maybe being coachable and coming in and understanding, is really just simply having work ethic. Because if you could get up and go to work every single day, to a 9 to 5, a job, a just over broke, because you know you're going to get a check at the end of the week. Why can't you do that for yourself and knowing you're going to get something even bigger, something even more? So it's just work ethic, but anybody can do it.
While Mr. August Jacques tends to say, no, not everyone can work in this industry. Many are called, but few are chosen. Love
You
it.
know, I agree
Well,
with
hey,
that
look.
because remember, the last question said anyone, not anyone can do it, but not everyone can do it because there's certain qualifications,
Yes.
there's certain work
Mhm.
ethic, there's you got to put the effort into it. It's like anyone can start a business, but not everyone will succeed. So
That's
I
right.
agree with you. Not everyone can. No,
Anybody,
Hey, Ezra.
anyone, but not
Ezra, that's
everyone.
$1 million. Hey, Ezra just dropped $1 million worth of game. He said anyone, but
Everyone.
not everyone. I just dropped a
I like
mic.
that. Well, ladies and
Look,
gentlemen,
Ezra,
Drop the
Ezra,
mic, folks.
bars.
bars, yes.
we actually did an hour, guys. We got to do a part two. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. This just comes down to the line right now where I allow the people to come on the platform to have a shameless plug. Let people know where they can find you. What do you do? What are you up to? You get to plug in. I don't care if you sell ice cream. Let them know where you're going to sell your ice cream cone. This is shameless plug time. We're going to start with TT. Go ahead, TT. Where can people find
Hey,
you?
all you guys know where you can find me at. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Come have a conversation with TT. You know I do my conversations daily, my live videos. My business agency name is DCS, Diverse Coverage Solutions. You all know, you see me in the community. I have a lot of upcoming events. Stay close to my page. I'm gonna have something at the end of the month. I'm doing something big, and I am doing something really big for the community. I'm gonna have a coat drive. I'm doing a feed the homeless. I have all these great things coming up. So reach out to your girl. If you can't reach me through Messenger, because sometimes, I don't always check it, I'm going to give y'all my straight up number, 862-214-5064. Come have a conversation with TT. And thank you, Leo, for having me.
No problem. Ezra, shameless plug.
Shameless plug. Listen, if you do not have life insurance, you don't have. Listen,
I'm gonna need
what
you
am
to sign.
I'm gonna need you to sign. All right, I'm gonna need you to sign. Okay. I don't care if it's term, final expense. It don't matter. We got it all over here. Okay. I'm gonna need you to sign. Yes, it's Life Insurance Awareness Month. So we want to make sure everyone is properly covered. You can reach me. You can text me, call me 305-905-8546. And just like TT, just stay glued to my channel, my page. Always have something coming up or going on, and you definitely welcome to come out to those events and check me out. But I'm gonna need you to sign at the end of the day. Let's make sure we save our families out here, okay?
All right,
I
Taurus.
love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, hey, look, want to thank you for spending some time with us this evening. We hope you got the insight you needed to better understand life insurance. And my name is Taurus, and I'm the CEO of Team 390. You can find me on 390agency.com. And I'm looking for sharp, ambitious, hungry people that can come in here and help me help the 100 million people that don't have life insurance or that are underinsured. And by helping people with those things, we'll find a way to make sure you get paid.
Like it. I like it. Well, guys,
390agency.com.
say that one more time.
390agency.com.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, guys, you heard it there. You got three powerful leaders here looking to service their communities, looking to help out with those people that need our help. I don't know if you guys know about the perfect storm. A lot of people retiring. Those that used to help the people retiring are also retiring. That means we need more of you to come out here and help us help those that are retiring. So, guys, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to come and educate and leave this on. Please like, share, subscribe. There's a little barcode on this side right there. Also, you guys share this because this is information for your clients. They could you probably answer a lot of their questions. They'll know how to reach out to you guys. I want to thank you. It's been an honor. Well, let me say my shameless plug. You know where you can find me? Right here, Friday at 5, every time on the Unapologetic Entrepreneur. I can be found on Facebook. Just hit me up. We'll talk. We'll have a conversation. I'm looking to help people as well.
Leo,
Yes,
Leo,
sir.
I got one last thing, man. Hey, look, your leadership, your consistency, it's appreciated, bro. I just want you to know that.
Oh, thank you. That's humbling, man. You,
100%.
oh man, you did this live. Oh, stop. Hey, I'm a crier. Thank you. Oh my God. Listen, I've been
It was
crying all
allergies this
day.
morning, and now it's gonna be
Hey, look.
allergies.
Oh,
Hey, look, hey, it's real. It's real, man. You're doing a great job, bro. Keep it up.
That's my
appreciate
ED.
I
amazing
appreciate
job,
you.
bro. For real.
Yes, let's go, TT. Y'all keep crushing it, man. Proud of y'all.
You guys not on
Thank
this
you.
show, they haven't seen Sears yet. So I'm gonna leave you with this one. It's been an honor, a pleasure, and a privilege to be with you today. You could have been anywhere in the world. Taurus, thank you for that, man. Seriously. But you guys are here with me, so I appreciate you. We are out of here.
Yeah, you got to close it. I love it.